The news circulated on social media like a major headline. ScHoolboy Q will officially support Kendrick Lamar on his Grand National Tour in Australia and New Zealand this December. This brief announcement, Q will open for K, represents more than just a ticket upgrade. It suggests a revival of their old friendship, a symbolic transfer of influence within the TDE hierarchy, and a deliberate recognition of their West Coast roots on a global platform. By the way, welcome to Celebrity Hip Hop Showroom, where hip hop and celebrity drama never sleep, so hit that subscribe button so you never miss the mess. Let's get into it. Imagine entering Sydney's Allianz Stadium on December 3rd or Melbourne's MI Park on December 10th, surrounded by tens of thousands of fans. The crowd knows Kendrick is about to make history once again, but first, ScHoolboy Q, from South Central, takes the stage. The energy shifts. This isn't just an opening act, it's a statement. Kendrick is indicating that the narrative goes beyond him, and he wants Q to help shape the next chapter. This moment is important because Kendrick and Q have a deep history together. In 2025, Kendrick and SZA will embark on their record-breaking Grand National Tour, already the highest-grossing hip-hop tour ever, with ScHoolboy Q participating in the Australian leg as a continuation of their legacy, rather than an afterthought. Q's involvement is purposeful. It reinforces their Black Hippy origins and emphasizes Kendrick's role in Q's career development. In interviews, Q has credited Kendrick with saving his life and boosting his confidence, right down to the foundational lyrics that contributed to TDE's rise. To understand the importance of this opening act, one must reflect on the past. In 2018, Kendrick, SZA, and Q toured together on TDE's first label tour, the Championship Tour, where the entire Black Hippy collective performed across North America. That sense of unity is now being revived in Australia, but on a grander scale. Kendrick and SZA lead the stadium tour, while Q serves as a connection to their West Coast history. Essentially, Kendrick is bridging different eras. Q represents the time before Kendrick's ascent to superstardom, the street album Hustle, the breakthrough with Oxymoron, and the loyalty of Black Hippy. Now, Q stands at the forefront of Kendrick's stadium success, reminding fans that their journey began in the same challenging environment. To appreciate the magnitude of this tour, consider the Grand National Tour thus far: 46 arena and stadium dates across Europe and North America, over 1.1 million tickets sold, and more than $256 million in gross revenue by mid-June, including several individual show records, like the $14.8 million gross in Seattle with 60,941 attendees. The collaboration between Kendrick and SZA has created an unprecedented model for hip-hop and R&B touring, a collective effort rather than a solo showcase. Kendrick bringing in a hometown collaborator like Q for the Australian leg carries significant weight. This also reflects a shift in Kendrick's perspective on memory and history. He has progressed from being merely the main performer to adopting the role of a curator. By having Q kick off the Australia leg of the tour, he signals to fans that this achievement is a shared success, rooted in friendship and creative teamwork. Fans on Reddit responded with excitement, describing it as poetic justice. Comments like, "Giving Q a chance on global stages he helped elevate," and "It's a full circle moment. Q opens in Australia, Kendrick goes worldwide," emphasize how this decision resonates with their nostalgia for TD's past. At the same time, ScHoolboy Q's own body of work holds significant importance. From Collard Greens on Oxymoron featuring Kendrick, to Blank Face LP, Crash Talk, and the recent Blue Lips, 2024, Q's steadfast authenticity and performance elevate him beyond just a supporting role. He embodies affirmation. He represents the West Coast street ethos mixed with introspection, complementing Kendrick's psychological artistry. To adapt this narrative into a script format. Open asterisk a December night in Melbourne. The massive floodlights at AMI Park dim. The air is electric with anticipation. The crowd knows what's coming. Enter ScHoolboy Q. The beats drop. He performs Collard Greens in a smoky atmosphere, smoothly transitioning into That Part and other tracks. He sets the physical and emotional tone, gritty, energetic, full of West Coast flair. He creates an ambience, not through aggression, but through his commanding presence. By the time Kendrick and SZA take the stage, the audience is primed. Q has charged the energy. Kendrick doesn't just enter the crowd. He connects with them at their peak excitement. The shift from opener to headliner is intentional and crafted. Throughout the performance, visuals flash of Black Hippy collaborations, past TD tour moments, and quick quotes about loyalty. The link between Kendrick's current stadium success and Q's foundational role is expressed through a narrative montage, not through words, but through emotion. A reviewer from Melbourne later remarked, "Q set the tone. You could sense he earned the right for Dot and SZA to follow." Another reviewer at the Sydney concert highlighted Q's entrance as a memorable moment for fans. When Q appeared, thousands sang along to songs from Oxymoron and That Part. By the time Kendrick arrived in the Buick GNX, the night had already been defined. What makes Q an ideal opening act is not only their shared history but also his ability to engage the audience with raw energy before Kendrick's more theatrical performance. Kendrick weaves stories in layers, while Q provides immediacy, creating an important contrast. This dynamic shapes the emotional arc of each show, moving from spontaneity to precision and from endurance to structure. This pattern suggests that Kendrick is deliberately choosing tour partners to strengthen legacy connections, Q in Australia, potentially different openers in Latin America, and so forth. He's not merely organizing concerts, he's also crafting narratives of legacy through his choice of collaborators. This decision also has a strategic business angle. In Australia, the media emphasizes Q's participation. He has a track record of independently selling out mid-sized venues. Now, as the opening act, he gains visibility in stadiums while reminding fans of his ongoing significance. Kendrick, in turn, reinforces nostalgia and continuity for TD. There's an emotional dimension as well. Q has publicly thanked Kendrick in the past for his support during difficult times. For Kendrick to revisit this narrative, especially in Australia, demonstrates his commitment while showcasing personal growth. Their relationship is not just transactional, it's profoundly personal. Critics have noted that Q's presence brings a sense of humility to the tour. It's not just Kendrick receiving applause, it's a platform that acknowledges the community. In a time when rap often prioritizes solo artists, Kendrick sharing the stage with Q reflects values that go beyond individual fame. On social media, one fan commented, "Watching GDP break records while Kendrick still remembers Q, that's what makes TD feel timeless." Another added, "He's not just the biggest anymore, he's the curator of his generation." How long has this been in the works? According to Hot New Hip Hop, the announcement came shortly after Kendrick confirmed his stadium dates in Australia. Q's involvement wasn't made official until July/August, when Instagram posts and Reddit confirmations solidified the news. By early August, various sources, like r/hipheads, Threads, and High Power, had reiterated the information, confirming its validity. In script format, the central section details logistics and context, including dates, locations, and historical connections. The following scenes depict the excitement among fans, heated discussions on Reddit, and analyses in hip-hop news regarding how Q's participation aligns with Kendrick's narrative approach. The tension builds toward the live performance, showcasing the crowd at MI Park, with Australian fans singing Q's lyrics, leading into the vibrant atmosphere of the Grand National. In the final act, critiques compare the two performances. Q energizes the crowd with his street gospel and bounce, while Kendrick conveys the night's key themes of legacy, identity, and visual commentary on his rivalry with Drake. Q's presence emotionally primes the audience for Kendrick's profound metaphors, making his opening act essential to the overall experience. Looking ahead, when Latin American dates are revealed, Q may not be the opening act. However, in Australia and New Zealand, he plays a vital role, bridging the gap from an internal star within Top Dawg to a connection between different eras. This geographical context is important. Australia has historically favored Kendrick and SZA at major festivals, and including Q in the stadium tour adds a local flavor that enhances its significance. In the concluding scenes, the script delves into emotional resilience, with fans sharing thoughts like, "Kendrick honors his roots." Analysts note that stadium tours often neglect origin stories, But Kendrick and Q have changed that narrative. Q's role as the opener serves as both a tribute and a statement. Achieving success doesn't mean abandoning one's roots, it means elevating them. This scripted narrative wraps up with a broader cultural viewpoint. Kendrick is reclaiming narrative identity by acknowledging his community collaborators. Q's role as the opening act transcends mere musical support. It symbolizes a restoration of significance. This is why fans highlight the moment's importance, why Reddit discussions refer to it as full circle TD energy, and why the live performance in Australia will be remembered not only for Kendrick's act but also for Q's dynamic opening. Ultimately, Kendrick's appearance with Q in Australia represents more than just logistical arrangements. It demonstrates how tours transform into narratives. Stadium performances do more than entertain, they tell stories. Kendrick constructs, recalls, and honors his journey. ScHoolboy Q's role as the opener carries a deeper significance than simply being a feature, it embodies validation. This is why the announcement, ScHoolboy Q will open for Kendrick Lamar on the Grand National Tour in Australia and New Zealand, feels more like a declaration than a promotional line. Kendrick is not traveling alone. He is bringing his community and his history along for the journey. As the lights dim and Q leaves the stage, he leaves behind more than just his music. He sets the scene, establishes the groundwork, and builds up the energy. By the time Kendrick steps on stage, the story has already begun to take shape. 2 performances. 1 narrative. A legacy elevated. Australia and New Zealand are ready to feel that energy. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this situation, so please share your opinions in the comments. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to stay updated on this story.